हरि ओम। कठोपनिषद प्रथम अध्याय द्वितीय वल्ली मंत्र नंबर 18 118। न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चित् नायं कुतश्चित् न बभूव कश्चित् अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे। मंत्र नंबर 19। हन्ता चेत् मन्यते हन्तम् हतश्चेत् मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ नो बीजानीतः नायगुं हन्ति न हन्यते। मंत्र 20। अनोरणीयान् महतो मह्यान् आत्मस्य जन्तो निहितो गुहायां तमक्रतो पश्यति भीतशोकः धातु प्रसादात् महिमानम् आत्मनः। हरि ओम. Welcome you all to this session of Katha Upanishad. In this, we are embarking on a very important mantra, and which is often quoted by the philosophers and the teachers and the gurus. All of them quote this mantra. So I have asked you to remember this mantra also. Before this, we have seen, the teaching of the Katha Upanishad started at mantra number 18, when it said, "Na jayate mriyate va kadarchit vipaschit." And the next sloka also, what we read, 19 number, which is Hanto chat manyate hanto. These two mantras are equally important because they have been almost body lifted and quoted by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Almost verbatim it has been quoted. I have told you that. Now this mantra 20 is very beautiful. I have already covered to some extent. I have told you the word meanings of this mantra. Anoraniyan mahato mahyan. Anu is what? It's the atom. So it's the subtlest. Anor means it's the subtlest. It is subtler than the subtlest. Mahato mahyan. Mahat is great. Is greater than the greatest. Atmasya janto nihito guhaya. Atma means Atma. Janto means the jiva, the prani. Jantu. Jantu is janto here. Okay. Nihita guhayam. That means it is seated in the guha, the cave of the heart. Okay. The Atma is seated in the cave of the heart. So simple. Then he says, Tamakratu pasyati bhitasoka. Tam akratu. So that person who is akratu. Akratu means is desireless, without giving up all the desires. That person, when he is seated there in that guha, then he becomes, and he gets, that is what the knowing the Atma is. He realizes that Atma. And what is the result of the realization? It is Vita Soka. Vita Soka means is beyond sorrow. Okay. Then Dhatu Prasadat Mahimanam Atmana. So Dhatu Prasadat means by the grace of your dhatus. Dhatus here indicating the organs of the body, the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, mind, etc. With that prasada, the grace of that means the grace of the Bhagavan also, Mahimanam Atmanam. That means he beholds the majesty of the self. Mahimanam, the Atmana, the self is majesty. His majesty he beholds. He says, so great Atma is. Because I have no Sukha, I have no Dukkha. So, the word meaning of this, not word meaning, the meaning of this sloka becomes the Atma is subtler than the subtlest. And the Atma is also greater than the greatest. Okay. And it is lost in the cave of my heart. Three things. Then it is lost in the cave of the heart of every creature, not only my heart. Janto means everybody. So then three things. Fourth thing is Tamakradu Pasyati. That person who is akratu, who is desireless, he sees, he visualizes with the mind and his sense, with the mind and senses, with the grace of the minds and senses, he visualizes, he sees, he beholds what? The majesty of the self. As a result, he becomes free from sorrow. Okay, so many what you call steps are there in this mantra. Okay, you got it, no? So Atma is declared as the smallest of the smallest, subtler than the subtlest. By saying that subtler than the subtlest, he is also declaring that it is the greater than the greatest. How is it possible? How it can be at the same time the छोटे से छोटे, बड़ा से बड़ा? How it can be possible? So he says, Mahato Mahiyam, greater than the greatest. That means what? Atma is very tiny, can be seen anywhere, and Atma is also very great. It is like the universe and beyond the universe, which means that that Atma is pervading each and every nook and corner of the universe, and is also pervading the entire universe and the cosmos. All the stars, galaxies, everywhere is pervading, as well as each anu, each spot. So entire spectrum of the manifested universe, it is covering, from the tiniest to the greatest. So how is it possible that we'll see Bhagavan what he says, that how this smallest can be spreading all over and pervading the entire universe. Normally we cannot visualize this, but it is Gita also it is mentioned. And Bhagavan says, I am not only here, I am also, this is only part, this universe is only one anga of mine. In Vishnu Sahasrama, he says what? Tripadasya Uttam Devi. One pada here, one pada there, one pada there. All the universe is covered. Okay. So how do you explain that tiniest and the greatest at the same time? How one object can be that? One way to think is, this is not an object. Okay, there is no dimension. There is no nama rupa. There is no what you call beginning and end. Okay. So this Atma, because it is the consciousness itself, it is eternal, all pervading, and it is the essence of everything else. You take anything, essence is that Atma. That is there. That even the minutest conceivable part of any body and the greatest or the expanded version of the cosmos also, it is there. Because the consciousness, it is everywhere, it is there. Then the question arises, How do you describe that this Atma is lodged in the heart? It is so big everywhere it is there. How do you say that it is lodged in the heart? Heart of all beings also. It's baffling. See, when the Upanishad says that is lodged in the heart, means residing in the heart, means it indicates a point, a location where a person who is meditating and concentrating on the self ultimately comes to realize it in the own self. That is a self. It is not the physical heart. You can think it's physical heart, but that's the most valuable organ of the body. Yes, but this is where the Atma we visualize and realize also. How do we do that? We do through our usual practice of sadhanas. Sadhana is Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhasanam. So this is what, like we did Vedantic meditation. Through that, we realize that Atma is sitting. I told you, you realize, you visualize that all your desires are gone and you put all your thoughts in the self. Once you do that, your bondages go away. That means once you realize that I am that Atma, and that is everywhere also, then you will not think of this attachment. My son, my daughter, my wife, my husband, this attachment will not be because you are everywhere. Eventually, you come to the joy of freedom. Freedom from everything. There is no attachment. If you are, when you imagine this, you are here, you are there. And the moment you think here, you are also in, say, in the outer space. We cannot imagine, but it is fact. So you have the freedom and you have the joy. And that joy is eternal joy, infinite joy. That is the bliss. So this is the process of realizing that perfection. That's why it is called Nihitam Guhayam. This Guha is a sabda. It is very often used in the Upanishads. Guha means what? Cave. Guha means cave. You remember Mundaka Upanishad, where you have used this Guha? Vidyate Hridaya Granthi Chindate Sarvasanta Sansaya. Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. That Granthi, the knot of the heart. So, this is the way, that's why you have explained that it is in the Guha. Then there is one line, Tamakratu Pasyati Bitasokaha. Tamakratu. Tam Akratu. I'm only giving a gist of what you have done previous class. Then we'll go forward. Tam Akratu means that person who is desireless. That person who is devoid of any desires. So once he had no desires, everywhere we are saying, once you have no desires, there is no attachment. And there is no fear also. You stand to lose nothing. Why there will be attachment? A desireless person is fearless. And once he has given up all the desires from the external objects, and by that desire, by that attachment, we dissipate our energy. And the dissipation is not taking place. So you are conserving all your energy and concentrating on the self. Okay, so that tam akratu pasyati beta sukha. Pasyati means visualizes. He sees, he realizes, and the result is beta sukha. Means without sorrow. But here a point comes: can you be really akratu, desireless? Do you not desire for moksha? Huh? We say no. Moksha is um, intense desire for liberation. So how do you say that you are desireless? Isn't it? Intense desire for mukshu. A mukshu is called who is having intense desire for liberation, and also you also desire to be near God, or you are a desire for attaining God or realizing God. That is also there, no? That is also desire, but it all depends. The desire is tamasic, rajasic, or sattvic. Sattvic desires are harmless, but it's also a bondage. It's also a bondage. Like all the bondage, Gurudev Swami Chinmanaji says, it's like somebody in a bondage with a iron chain or a silver chain or a gold chain. The bondage to bondage. Huh? So, but see, even some people, they uh, they desire the salvation or desire the moksha or different types of moksha that they desire. That desire also creates anxiety in them. The desire also can destroy the peace and poise of the person itself. If it's strongly that, you can, as Vedantists don't get into that. But there are many people who say, no, I'll do 1,000 malas, 2,000 malas. The desire itself creates, oh, I have not done, I love regret, I love anxiety, I love passion, all that it comes in. No? So that is not good. That also creates, it removes our poise, it removes our santi. Only when, on the last stage, when you renounce that anxiety of realization or prayers or achieving some targets in your sadhana, then that individual rests in the supreme. And that is only supreme will. Bhagavan, but thy will be done. Whatever you desire, Bhagavan ka upar chhod dete hain. When you do the samarpana, and whatever you do, I can do this much only. I am proceeding with a clean heart. I am doing this, and the rest I leave it to you. This is called akratu. This means that you are desireless for the not only for the objects of the world, but also for the actions that you take. You are desireless not only for the means of the path, the path that you take, but also the goal also you are desireless. Not only the means, the result also. Because you say Bhagavan is Bhagavan, he is all graceful, Dayavan. So whatever he does, I accept. So you leave it like that. Don't strive too much. And the result is Bita Soka. Tarati Sokam Atma Bita. Once you realize the Atma, you get rid of all your Bita Sokas. Okay. There's more on this we'll talk. Okay. Now, another term that we have used here is Dhatu Prasadat Mahimanam Atma. Dhatu Prasadat. There are two interpretations for this. Dhatu means the support. Dhatar is this thing. From that, it means the supporter, the creator of the universe. The God Prasad means grace, the grace of God. This is the thought. This is the way the dualist all the other uh, philosophical streams, they interpret that with the grace of the God. Katho Prasada means with the grace of the God, we um, we know the Atma or realize the Atma. But Advaitins, as interpreted by Bhagavan Shankaracharya, it is like this, that Dhatu means the parts or the components, or you know you have so many components of the your vehicle, like that, so many dhatus are there. Like in the body, you have the dhatus of all the karmendriyas, all the gyanendriyas, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all these are together. Prasad means grace. So Bhagavan's grace is there, but you must have the grace of all our organs. That means your mind also should be purified, your intellect should be purified, you should have a single pointed mind, and all your limbs should also cooperate. You should not, if you sit down for a dhyana, you should not have cramps in the legs, or your mind goes away somewhere, or you are not able to sit for half an hour. So these are the, so as you are growing old, these all comes. People cannot sit. They always sit on the chair also. They cannot sit cross-legged on the ground. You say, because our body and the limbs do not allow. So that prasad means the grace of the organs of the body, including the mind and intellect. So when the mind is purified, your thoughts also purified, then you can have concentration. You can have single pointed mind. And that mind can bring in tranquility. It will be calm and quiet. We have seen when we are doing Nidhyasana, how the mind becomes calm and quiet. The tranquility of the atmosphere is the grace required for the blessed self. The communion with the self and the jiva and atma, paramatma, aikya jo bolte hain na, that communion, the togetherness is through the peaceful, tranquil mind only. Mind you, this can be achieved with the help of the mind only. Whatever you are doing, mana only can help you. There is one Upanishad where it says, mana eva manusyanam moksha bandha eva cha. That means with the mind only you can get moksha, with the mind only you can get bandhana. So it is all in the mind only. Mana eva manusyanam karanam bandha mokshaya. The reason, the cause of bandha and moksha is the mind alone. Okay. So last time I have done the bhashya of this, so I'll not repeat. I'll just go over the content. Okay. In this verse, the Upanishad says, Atma is the essence of everything, the smallest, the tiniest to the greatest. It is the consciousness. It is also the adhisthana. It is the substratum on which everything is existing. It is sarva adhisthana rupa, sarva rupa bhutas. This is the Brahman only. What else? When you say consciousness is Brahman only, that is everywhere. In Mundaka Upanishad, what you are saying? Brahman or that Atma or Brahma is Ekam, one only. You have seen Saram, that is the essence of everything. You have seen Nityam, eternal. Satyam, it's a truth. All these superlative adjectives we have studied in the Upanishads, and that describes the mantra and the Brahman. So, how do you, in our worldly terms, how do you explain that? And we have the classic examples, like the gold in all the ornaments, same gold in the necklace or the bangles or the earrings, everywhere the same gold. You break one. Sometimes you go to the jewelry shop, no, वो पुराना ज्वेलरी लेके जाओ, थोड़ा थोड़ा इधर उधर पड़ा है, उसको बोलो उसको तोड़ दो, कितना वजन कर दो, वजन करने के बाद then you will cut, मेकिंग चार्जेस दिस थिंग, उसमें खाद इतना है, वो सब निकाल के यूज करेगा, बोला ठीक नया बना दे, उसके बाद अगेन यू विल टेक द मेकिंग चार्जेस. So same gold you use and make a new necklace. So the presence of gold is there in all the ornaments. Same way, the presence of that Brahman or Atma is there in everybody. Comparison of gold cannot be there, but a comparison of Nama and Rupa is there. So when you got a bangle, you are not saying that this is my gold. You are saying this is my bangle. Then you will see what is the form, what is the type, what is the weight. That's a different thing. So Nama and Rupa are very, very important. This is how the whole world recognizes. Nobody recognizes gold, but they recognize through the Nama and Rupa, names and forms. Okay. Same way, whatever you see, normally you recognize through Nama and Rupa. Gold you don't recognize, like you don't recognize the gold, same way you don't recognize the Atma. When I say Kavita, I don't see Kavita, oh, you are the consciousness, you are the Atma. Mahesh, you are the Atma. I don't say that. And I say by name and form. Isn't it? So, that Atma is the content that we must realize, that the inner content, the essence of that. And that is the higher principle of myself. Either I identify with my body mind, I have all this physical body, gross body, or identify with the consciousness, with the pure consciousness. I can do earlier, because Atma can be also known everywhere. There is a Upanishad, what it says, Atma means Brahman, the Bhagavan is pervading everywhere. You see Atma in Chandogya Upanishad saying, Atma Purastat, Atma आगे है, आत्मा पश्चात मेरा पीछे है, आत्मा दक्षिणात मेरा राइट साइड में, आत्मा उत्तरात, आत्मा इदगुम सर्वम. एवरीवेयर द आत्मा इज देयर. आगे पीछे, लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर, एवरी, ऊपर नीचे, सब जगह पे. हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल? एंड देन अदर उपनिषद सेज, अंतर बहिष्ठ तत्सर्वम व्याप्यम नारायण स्थितः. Inside, outside, everywhere same Narayan is there. So once you study, you can pick up the mantras or the slokas from different contexts, different sources, and you will see it is the same. So when we think, or question arises, how is it possible that same Atma is everywhere, is there, but still we don't know? How is it possible? Or same gold is there in all the bangles, all the ornaments. See, this is very well explained, or you can explain yourself or to others also, that by the example of our dream. Okay, by the example of dream. I always think that, when you go to sleep, you dream. Before deep sleep, you dream. In the dream, you are the dreamer, huh? And then you are the dream itself. You are the dream object. You are the dream subject also, and you are the events also. Everything you are. Nothing. Nobody is coming here in the dream. Everything you are only the doer, the done, and the object, subjects, situations, and events. Everything you are. So when dreaming, I don't realize that I am everywhere. I think I am dreaming. Somebody else is coming. That a lion is coming or a elephant is coming. I get scared and all that. But nothing. When I wake up, there's nobody. I myself, I have become the elephant. I have become the lion, and I am running everything. Who is running also? Only my mind, isn't it? So as long as I am in the dream, I don't realize that I am doing everything. But when you wake up, you know that that I was there everywhere. Now I know. So there is one Upanishad where it says, Mayeva sakalam jatam, Mayi sarvam pratishthitam. Mayeva sakalam jatam. In me alone, everything is, utpatti, jatam. Everything is in me that's come up. And Mayi sarvam pratishthitam. I am everywhere. And that I, when I say, I identify myself with the Atma, not with the physical body. So this mantra number 20, is the capsule mantra when all aspects of Atma, the self, is considered at the big and the small, left, right, center, everything. I'll tell you another way. This Atma is looking at appears to be the smallest, smaller than the smallest, with the Namarupa. So you try to find out how it is. Normally, in our subjective world, in objective world, we see the small things with a microscope because it's a microscopic world. So if you take a microscope and look at it, can you find the Atma? You cannot. Same way, if you say this is very big, greater than the greatest, you take a big telescope and look at it. Where the Atma gone? Let me see in the sky where the Atma is gone. Can you find the Atma? So you cannot pinpoint the location of Atma or the limit of Atma or the size and form of Atma. You cannot. Not at the smallest nor at the biggest. Because that is not the Atma Swarupa, is not object. All the worldly searches that we make by any of the instruments of microscope or telescope or any other instrument we use, this is all for objective world, not for the subjective world. And this is subtler than subtle, very, very subtle. So any amount of search will lead you only from one Namarupa to another Namarupa. It cannot get you to the Atma because that is the essence. Because that the Atma Swarupa is not known to you also. You can never find. Why? Because, can you remember any mantra that we have done? Natatra chakshur gacchati, na bhag gacchati, na manah. You have to connect this now. तो तुम्हारा आई उधर नहीं जाता है, बाग नहीं जाता है, मना नहीं जाता है, कैसे देखोगे तुम उसको? So you need to know the Atma Swarupa, the real nature, own nature of Atma you have to know. So how the jnana you have to have, the knowledge of the Atma. How you have it? See, all this worldly tests you did through the microscope and the telescope, but Vedanta said, you come to me. I'll tell you how to find what is Atma. I'll give you the answer because it's a mystery. So he says, Nihitam Guhaya. What he said? Janto Nihito Guhaya. Okay? That means you don't look for anywhere else. You don't go down and top and everywhere else. You look within you. First, within your heart, he is sitting there. So when Atma is the content of everything, Atma is the content of yours also. So you find here also. It's the content of myself also. So this content or essence of the entire universe is also the essence of myself. And that is the way that we find. So why is saying Guhaya? Janto Guhaya. See, that Guha is, we are referring to the either heart or Antakaran. Antakaran means inner instrument, that mind and all that. So it is here only within. Why do you compare it as a cave, Guha? Because the cave, it is always dark, isn't it? There is no light inside. It's filled with darkness. Same way, my mind is also filled with darkness. Filled with darkness like Ajnana also. There is no knowledge, ignorance. Okay? So that ignorance, the Atma, when it goes, it becomes, because it is self-effulgent, it becomes lighted up. You know yourself. Then it's saying that Janto Nihitam. Janto means what? Jantu. That means it's a prani, it's an animal. It's not saying it's in the human heart. It's not saying that human heart. It's a Jantu. So it's Upanishad is not separating the human beings as special. It's saying any being is okay. In every being, the Atma is there. It's like an animal, it's another animal. So that Janto Nihitam means it is hidden inside the heart of the everybody. See, let us say the other way. The mind or the Antakarana, they have two ways of looking at it. One is a visible. Visible means that we can know, like we have the thoughts, we have the emotions, that you can make out in the mind, right? When you have some thoughts, these thoughts are coming. When you have some emotions also, kabhi dukh hua, kabhi kast hua, kabhi prem hua, all this is expressed in the mind only. Okay, but there is these are all variable factors. But there is one invariable factor which is not really the mind, but beyond the mind, which we have. And that invariable factor is our consciousness, our awareness, which we call Atma or Paramatma or pure consciousness. This awareness is always present. This awareness is limitless and it is not limited by any boundary. I know I am. Is there any time, any fraction of a second also, when you say, I am not there? Can you ever say? Can you ever say that I don't exist? I'm not there. Unless you want to bluff somebody. No, sir. Somebody wants you some money and you want to say, oh, I'm not there. You tell your son, tell uncle, I'm not there. Okay? So this Atma is ever present and I am aware of that existence. And that Atma is limitless, all pervading. It is not limited by any boundary. nor by the boundary of the body, nor by the boundary of the mind also. See, mind can go anywhere, isn't it? You are sitting here, your mind also going to different world. You know how the Iran war is going on. That also you are seeing from here only sitting now, through your mind only. So that mind also does not create any boundary for your. So how do you say that Atma is Nihitam Guha? How it is embedded in the animal or a Jantu? The answer is, it is embedded means it is present. It is present in the form of consciousness. There is no physical object to be present. It is only consciousness, that awareness. Huh? That awareness is the Atma Swarupa. That consciousness is the Atma Swarupa. That knowledge, the jnana of Atma Swarupam is the awareness. And that is invariably, that is all the time. Your emotions come and go, your thoughts come and go, but consciousness is present all the time. It is not modified, it is limitless and nitya. See, what is the example that we can give? It's like you go on the road and you see so many people are walking, so many cars are going up and down, and all that you are visible. Okay. But the visible objects are changing. And they have different names and forms. You will see, so many types of cars or bikes or people are moving. And their names are different. Objects are going, cars are going, people are walking, or what. So many things are there. But you are able to perceive this because of the presence of something. And that is not changing. Now, what is that? Light. Isn't it? Because the light is there, because of the presence of that light, you are able to see everything, all the changes. The changes are observed through the presence of the changeless. Same way, your nama rupa, your emotions, your thoughts are changing, but that is observed because of the presence of the consciousness. Okay? So what sadhana you do, what efforts you do to know this knowledge, the Swarupa, Atma Swarupa Jnanam, how will you get? The answer given, Akratu Pasyati Mahimanam Atmana. You realize the Atmana, the greatness of Atmana, Akratu, without any desire. Desireless man is able to perceive. Now that's why everywhere it is said that you should be desireless. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Mind say, all the kamas must be gone. Sub kamana, all the desires must be taken out. Then only you can become a Sthita Prajna. Isn't it? The kamana, the desires are very, very important. That has to be given up. Everywhere in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Shastra, everywhere it is mentioned. So this is Akratu. And he Pasyati. And Akratu means desireless. Kratu means desire. But when you say Akratu, that means desireless means it's niskama. Because every kama, every desire, whatever you want to do, it draws your attention, isn't it? Whatever thought comes, to mind, I'll do this. Or the desire, I want to achieve this, I want to buy this or something. Your attention goes there. Okay? Your mind goes there. You spend time, you spend money, you spend efforts. all that goes to your, all that attention, your attention goes towards it. So what happens? Once attention is diverted, your no attention is not on yourself. So we are saying what? Take out all the disturbing thoughts, bring back to the same self, and if you do diversify your attention for the desired objects, obviously you cannot put your attention here. When you seek for moksha, it has to be undivided attention. Your goal has to be one and only one. When you have a desire, some karma, kama, then your attention is divided and your thoughts also go away. So that's why they say Titra Vairagya is required for Mukshu or whoever seeking moksha. So you have to attach that value to moksha. Moksha is doable, achievable in this life, here and now. Please be clear about it. But you can't be casual. मिल जाएगा देखेंगे. You have to put your attention, your efforts, your priority also. Because moksha is the toughest goal. And priority must be shifted from one of the many things to one and only one thing. You may be having many other goals, but the priority you must shift to moksha. Otherwise, I can go for traveling, I can visit and temple visit and so many other things. Unless you prioritize this, it cannot happen. So, this akratu pasyati, जो बात किया है, that itself, how do you know that it happens? Because again in Mundaka Upanishad, he says, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirbeda mayat nasti akruta krutena. After you examine the whole world, you know whatever job you do, whatever actions you do, jitna kaam karo, that is perishable. You cannot achieve the goal of moksha with the karma. So you have to go beyond the karma, beyond the karma and the karma. So the person who is examining the world, and the world you gain through the karma, he reflects that nothing eternal can be gained by this karma. Then he gains that freedom from desires. Once you are free of desires, then everything can be achieved. That goal can be achieved. Okay. So, the Dhatu Prasadat, again I'll tell you a little more. As I told you that these Gyanendriyas, Karmendriyas, etc. are taken as Dhatu here. But the grace of our organs, we can do the sadhanas. Right? The Indriyas should be available for studies. Pasravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam, Samadhi. Samadhi, Satka Sampati also, that qualification should also be available. Then only we can strive on the path of spiritual growth. Pasyati means what? Tam pasyati bita sukha. Pasyati means he must recognize, he must observe, he must realize the value of moksha. And finally, Mahimanam Atma, the glory of Atman. He realizes the glory of Atman. And what is that glory? The self-knowledge itself. You know, glory is what? Vibhuti. You know, 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga. All the glories of the Bhagavan is given. Atmana Mahimana. That means own glories. Bhagavan's glory, here also your own glories. And the phalam, what is the phalam? What is the result? Bita Soka. Divide of Soka, devoid of any sorrow. But here, Sukha is given as a Upalakshana. You know what is Upalakshana? There is a series of things, and you mention one of them, then you should take that all others. Okay. So that Sukha also represents or means the lobha, moha, kama, krodha, raga, dvesa, all these also, all the negative things that you attend also comes. That means once you realize the self, all these things will run away. So Jnani, a realized person, transcends the mind, he disowns the mind, and he becomes gunatita. He's beyond all these gunas. No sattvic, no rajasic, no tamasic. Is gunatita. And where the mind goes, he hands over the mind to the Vishwarupa Darsana. Everywhere. Mind is everywhere. He is there everywhere also. Sarvatra Brahma Lakshana. Brahma Darsana. Everywhere he sees the presence of the Brahma. In the class, in the outside, inside, the entire universe, the presence of Brahman is realized. This is how a Jnani becomes a realized person. So with this, we close the class today. We'll close it now. Okay.